Vuyo, you're absolutely right. All eyes are on the National Assembly in Cape Town for the State of the Nation address, the first under the Government of National Unity. And yes, we are here. We've been here the whole week at the Invest in African Mining in Indaba, and we're using this opportunity to catch up with investors, commentators, economists, business leaders, to hear from them as to what they are expecting tonight from South Africa's first citizen. I'm joined now by independent economic analyst who is no stranger to commentary on the state of the country, and that is Professor Bonke Dumisa. Professor Dumisa, thank you for your time this afternoon. An important day for not only the country but the Government of National Unity. You are no stranger to actually weighing in on the things that are important in the country. As we head to the 7 o'clock hour and we build up, what are you expecting to hear? What would be the things that you'd put in that State of the Nation address if you were standing on that podium?
Thank you. Welcome to Newzroom and all your viewership. I just want to say something that is not going to happen tonight first. People must not expect that the president will start allocating funds to different departments. That will be done by the Minister of Finance. The issues which this president will have to emphasize and work on today are the things that affect the whole nation in general, especially the things that will contribute towards the economic growth of this country. Firstly, he will have to address the issue of electricity, as we know that we were happy about the 300 days without load shedding, and then all of a sudden last weekend there was a pause to that, even though it's sorted out. Because without any electricity which is reliable, then our economy is not going to be strong. Another thing which we'll have to address, unfortunately, are all the issues which were said by the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Not necessarily repeating what Paul Kagame said, but addressing that to highlight to the South Africans that we do need our soldiers in Congo. And this started during the time of President Thabo Mbeki. It has always been there, because if ever we don't make sure that there is peace in the Great Lakes region, then all the people in those countries will flock to South Africa, as it is already happening. So you must stop it there. And another thing which he will also have to address are the distortions which were made by the President of the United States, President Donald Trump, when he said in South Africa they are confiscating the properties of people of certain races, and we knew which race he was referring to. He was lobbied by some people who came from South Africa to go and lobby him on that one. And unfortunately, the things he said were not true. South Africa is not confiscating property or land from people of other races. And if you read the Expropriation Act clearly, it clearly explains why it had to come into being, just to correct some things which were not clear in Section 25 of our Constitution. And then he will also have to look at other issues which will be important for the economic growth of South Africa. What are those things which hinder the economic growth? Infrastructural development. The President and the Minister of Finance had already said that South Africa must spend a lot of money in rehabilitating our roads, etc., and all the infrastructure, because many people, investors who come to South Africa, they come to South Africa because it is said South African infrastructure is state of the art and is better than in many other countries, including the most advanced countries. So those are things he must focus on. Don't expect him to say anything much about unemployment, because I think the issue of unemployment, we've got structural unemployment in South Africa. Those are the things which can be dealt with by the relevant ministers.
Thank you very much, Professor Bonke Dumisa. You heard it. There's a number of things he thinks the president must make sure that he is addressing tonight under this particular SONA, the first under the government of national unity. It's an important one that we are looking out forward to from various stations, and as the last day of the mining indaba as well, we've decided to focus on what this particular sector and people who have been delegates here are actually expecting from the president this evening. Newzroom Afrika will bring you that particular address sharply at 7 p.m. Back to you, Oli, in studio.